Well, hello there, motherfuckers. I am here with a WrestleMania 17 review. That's right, a retro review. With the WWE Network being in my hands, my clutches, for 6 months, I will be reviewing every single show that I watch, and I will be reviewing what I will be watching tonight as well. NXT Arrival, gonna review it too, so you can look forward to a shit ton of reviews here on this channel. There's gonna be a lot of these fucking reviews, so if you like this one, get excited for more reviews. I barely do this. I haven't done a retro review in like 2 years on this channel. It's been a long fucking time, so get ready. WrestleMania 17, which by the way is my favorite pay-per-view of all time. So motherfuckers that ask for positive reviews, I hate everything, you hate wrestling, I'm going to review a pay-per-view from one of my favorite times in wrestling. It's the best pay-per-view ever. Alright, so we start off with Jericho defeating William Regal for the Intercontinental title. This is a good opener. I liked it a lot. You know, this is like an example of why William Regal deserved more in this company. I couldn't see William Regal really as a world champion. A lot of people talk about Regal as champion, but he doesn't really have the look of a champion. His mic skills are good. He's tough and all that, and I'm a big fan, but world champion, it would be hard to market a guy like Regal. Just there's something, you know when you see world champion material, it's like he's not like a Rock, a Stone Cold, a Hulk Hogan, a guy who looks like a world champion, doesn't like act like a world champion. Maybe with a couple of adjustments here and there to his character, maybe he could have been a world champion of sorts, but I don't see it coming from him really. But this is I'll give this match 3 stars. It was pretty good. Chris Jericho was chopping William Regal so hard that his chest was getting red. This was something really common with Regal. I remember his chest would always get red with the chops. Fair skinned motherfucker here. But 3 stars for this. Good opener and pretty damn enjoyable little match here. You got Taz and the APA versus the Right To Censor. This was a little bit too short, but this is what they were going for. They wanted to have the fans get excited with the Right To Censor being just like destroyed. This is what people wanted to see at the time, a Right To Censor or a big heel group. I thought it was a pretty good faction at the time. It was something. It was a parody of one of these stupid groups put together by a bunch of mothers, and they wanted to, dial down the violence in the WWE. Isn't it like really just kind of bizarre, a bit ironic that you had a group like the Right To Censor, which was a parody, and it's almost like something the WWE would support nowadays. Because look how things have changed. It's like the whole WWE is the Right To Censor. Vince McMahon has joined the Right To Censor. This wasn't a bad match or anything, but it was way too fast. They were going along pretty well in this. I think that Bull Buchanan, for a bigger guy, was actually a decent wrestler. He needed to be polished in some other parts, he never really had like a good match, but he had a couple of decent ones. The way how he runs and he could just jump on the top rope, pretty graceful for a big man. I give this match 2 stars. And this is like a good 2 stars. It's only because it was short, but what was packed in there was quite a bit of action. Then it was Kane defeating Raven and the Big Show for the hardcore title. And I really enjoyed this match quite a bit. Not like any great wrestling or anything, but a good backstage brawl. Most of the match took place backstage. There was comedy. I love it when Kane jumps in the golf cart backstage. It's just very amusing to see someone like Kane driving one of those little carts. You had Raven just being thrown through a glass window. It's shattering, and you hear the whole audience just gasp at it. I mean, what a great spot it was. Very enjoyable match. You know, it just... It was like a little bit of comedy, violence, all mixed together, and then you got Kane delivering an elbow off the stage. Pretty good shit here. I give this match 3 1/4 stars. I mean, this was pretty good. It was, you know, pretty much showing you that hardcore wrestling and why a lot of people want to see this title come back. You know, nowadays I don't really see the point of them bringing back a hardcore title, because if they did, all they're going to do is have them PG hardcore matches they were doing with Sandow and Ziggler. Then you got Eddie Guerrero defeating Test for the European title. This was another good match. And the reason why this is my favorite pay-per-view is good match after good match, and even when there was like a short match, like the APA Right To Censor match, it was still good. So Guerrero and Test had showed you quite a bit of his moveset in this match. Big spinning powerbomb, a gut wrench powerbomb. Really like putting together a lot of moves here. You know, and Eddie Guerrero just also great. There was one point where Test was hanging upside down. He had his foot caught in the rope. You know, just a really like just showing you exemplary of just like how physical you know wrestling was at this time. Really putting the bodies on the line. Lots of moves in the matches. I mean, because that's what it was about. It was just entertaining the crowd with your moveset and just, you know, letting it all hang out basically. So, you know, this match ends with the classic, you know, Guerrero sneakiness hitting Test with the title. I give this match 3 stars. Quite a well-wrestled match here. I mean, you know, Test is a guy that, you know, they kind of dropped the ball with a lot. You know, when they had ECW be reawakened, it would have been better to give him the title than Bobby Lashley if they were going to give it to a non-ECW guy, because Test had quite a bit of talent. And if you look at his resume, he didn't have a lot of good matches, but he had quite a few. And, you know, Test was one of these guys that was willing to put his body on the line. He wasn't just, you know, like a lame big man that didn't want to do much. So another good match there. Then you had Kurt Angle defeating Chris Benoit, and holy fucking shit. This was a great technical match, back and forth shit. 4 stars, motherfuckers. This was just technical wrestling at its finest. And yeah, they would have better matches in the future, but this was still really good. And it was the first you know, big stage encounter. They had wrestled in the past. They'd had matches one-on-one. But this was like at a whole nother level, because now Kurt Angle had already won the world title, and Benoit had already been in the main event with The Rock. So it was like 2 main event level guys now. Yeah, 4 stars. Really, it's... Paul Heyman says it during the match. I've never seen better counter hold, you know, hold for counter hold wrestling. It's just holy shit. It's a match that has to be seen to be believed. And then later on, you know, these guys would just go back and forth. I didn't like their ultimate submission match that they'd have at Backlash. A lot of people go ape shit over that, but it's a lot of boring rest hold actually. You know, when you really look at it, this was a really good match. So I guess you could say it was the best match they had in 2001. China defeating Ivory. This would be pointless to really review this match, because you knew going into it was just going to be a fast squash match. Right To Censor was banned from ringside. China just crushes Ivory. Entertaining. You know, Ivory was just such a bitch. You wanted to see her get destroyed, and you got your wish, and it got a huge pop from the crowd. If I had to rate this based on wrestling, it was a quarter of a star. But if I had to rate it based on giving the fans what they wanted to see, it's like 5 stars. Big crowd reaction. China was super over. What an awesome entrance with the bazooka and shit. Man, they don't do shit like that anymore. Kind of depressing reviewing this too, because this is so good. They never did anything better than this. So yeah, I'll NA, not available to the review, for this match. Just it was too enjoyable to give it any type of low rating just because it was a squash match. Then it's Shane McMahon defeating Vince McMahon. It was a good match. Another one. A lot of back and forth. Shane ends it with the Van Terminator, which was a move that was not seen at any point prior to this match. RVD didn't get there yet, so you didn't get to see this move ever. And Shane McMahon diving through the table, putting his body on the line through the whole fucking match. What would I rate this match? I'll give it 3.5 stars. I was, 3.5 stars. I'll give it 3.5 because the guy put his body on the line, diving through the table. And also, I'll give it 3.5 stars based on the storytelling in the match. Linda getting involved, Trish and Stephanie fighting. It was craziness. Wow! Just everything was happening during this match. It was like a couple little matches within one big match. 3.5 stars. Great storytelling. It was a great angle that was going on at the time, really showing Vince McMahon, really healing it up, hamming it up on, for everybody right there. Yeah, good stuff. Edge and Christian defeating the Dudleys and the Hardys in TLC 2. 5 stars, motherfuckers. What else are you supposed to rate a TLC match with these guys involved? Putting their bodies on the line like never before. Just everybody going through tables. This also ended up not only just with with 6 guys. They also added 9 more people to the match. Spike Dudley got involved, Rhino, Lita, and all of them. You had a Gore through the table. You had the Dudley dog through the table. Lita's getting involved. She's hurricaning people. Just so much fucking action during this match. Jeff Hardy with a swanton from a super tall ladder on the outside. 5 stars. like they hadn't had enough good matches. And then they come along and just bam, a 5-star classic just right there. And the show's not even over yet. Then it was the Iron Sheik winning the gimmick battle royal. So entertaining seeing all these classic guys just show up. And a lot of them were just like a lot of lame characters from the past. But all of them had done something in the past, either entertaining or, you had Sergeant Slaughter in there, Hillbilly Jim, Repo Man, Nikolai Volkov, Duke the Dumpster Drozy, Doink the Clown. You had the Bushwhackers in there. It was a really short match. It was pretty much just one guy eliminating the other because half these guys couldn't even wrestle anymore. A lot of them were pretty fat and out of shape. Some of the guys looked almost exactly like they used to. Tugboat, for example, he was just as, big of a guy as he always was. They put in James Cornette, which was just weird, and Brother Love, because they were never wrestlers, but they were in there, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. It's another match I ain't gonna rate, based on entertaining me. It worked. So another NA, not available, not applicable to rate this type of match. It wasn't there to, be there for wrestling quality. It was there to entertain you, to just give you something different on a card, just to, kind of just, have a little bit of fun after all the violence in the TLC match. You get to see something fun like this. Then it was The Undertaker defeating Triple H. This matchup was fucking crazy. There was just, it was all over the place. These guys were just wrestling like all over the building. You had a choke slam off of some fixture in the crowd. Then you had this awesome part where Undertaker lifts up Triple H for the last ride. Triple H cracks him in midair with the sledgehammer. This was just a fucking brutal ass match. 4 stars. That part where Triple H hits him with the sledgehammer when he gets lifted up is just crazy. And then Taker takes him out of the corner. Last ride. Great finish. Just a great match. And this is the best Mania match that they had, folks, in my opinion. I did like their WrestleMania 27 match. The Hell in a Cell one they had at 28 was alright, but compared to this one, that one paled in comparison. But this was really good. Seeing Taker just wrestle with the biker gimmick is also better. I think he was a lot tougher like this. He was also wrestling a lot tougher this way also. So this was another fucking good match. Then in the main event, you had Stone Cold defeating The Rock in a no disqualification match. This match was 5 stars. This is one of the best matches of all time. So fucking brutal. Bleeding, both guys, especially Stone Cold, bleeding like crazy. Stone Cold can't keep The Rock down. He gives him a stunner. He has to use the chair on him 1,000 fucking times. And then he finally gets the pin with the help from Vince McMahon. But even before that part, such a major turn. It was shocking. A lot of people didn't like it, but I loved it. Why? Because it was just one of the most unexpected moments. These two guys who hated each other, now they're friends. He's helping him out at Mania. Holy fucking shit. It was a great fucking moment, a great match, and it doesn't get any better than this. This is what it was about. This was the two best guys at the time going head to head. There were no rules or anything. I thought it was a little bit weird though when he had Stone Cold and the sharpshooter, and he reached for the just a little bit of a criticism here. He reaches for the rope. There's a rope break. Now the only reason why they do rope breaks in matches is because so the other guy will get disqualified if he doesn't let him go. But it was no disqualification, so why did The Rock have to break the hold? I don't understand that at all. That's the thing. Why would there be a rope break if there was no disqualification? Anyway, 5 stars for this fucking match. It's one of the best of all time, between 2 of the best of all time, and it's the best match that these guys had. I didn't really care so much for the match they had at WrestleMania 19. It was a lot slower paced. It wasn't really brutal at all. This match was very brutal. It's kind of crazy that they had these guys do all this, and this was their 2 top guys. I mean, holy shit, bleeding all over the place. Yeah, motherfuckers. 10 out of 10 for this show. It's the best show of all time, and you can tell this was a show that entertained me to the fullest extent of my entertainability, I guess you could say. You had TLC, The Rock and Stone Cold. You had all these fucking matches here. You take a look at this card, and you see some of the best wrestlers of all time on here. You had Stone Cold, The Rock, Undertaker, Triple H, Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero. You had Kane in there. You had Jericho. all these fucking guys all on the same card. It was probably one of the best cards for just bringing everybody together, from the Attitude Era just onto one show. This is the way how WrestleMania, when you think of WrestleMania, your biggest show of all time, this is how you think of it. You think of that, the best wrestlers in the world going head to head, trying their hardest to entertain you, better than they do, all the other days out of the year. Yeah. It's the best show of all time. If you haven't seen it and you got the network, you're a fucking retard for not watching it. There you go, motherfuckers. There's your retro review. Expect more.